name is Satya Raghavan. That's the only Tamil I'm going to speak today, okay? But I am Director, YouTube Partnerships from Google. And warm welcome to all members of the press, some partners who have come here today. What I thought I'll do is just take you through a bit of what is happening at YouTube, and then spend some time about why we are here today, and what kind of partners we're going to get you to meet today. We're also going to show you some things. So I hope you've kept the entire morning free, because then after that we also have lunch. What I'll do is I'll just quickly start off by talking about YouTube. Are actually connected to the internet today, right? And that number obviously will keep on increasing over the next few years. At YouTube, we have the good fortune of having more than 265 million people from those 460 come to YouTube on a monthly basis, month after month, right? Which means about 26.5 crore people are coming to YouTube month after month. And they come there, as we will share some more information, they come there for many different things. They come from many parts of India. They come across many different parts of society, right? So it's a very, very diverse consumer set who's coming to YouTube on a monthly basis. And this number is going to increase, right? There are a lot of reports out there which say that in the next 2 years, this number might touch about 650, 700 million people. But the most important thing is, a lot of these people will be video-first internet users. Means their main reason for coming to YouTube will be video-driven. Like how when we all first came to the internet a few years ago, we mostly did chat, we did email, and things like that. But this consumer, today's consumer who's on the internet, is majorly driven by video. In the room, who all saw YouTube today in the morning? Did anybody see? Yeah. Who all saw YouTube yesterday? Right? So it's become like a daily habit, right? And that's the video consumer that I'm talking about. In the next couple of years, about 500 million people will be watching video. Just imagine how much bandwidth is required for that. But that's a good thing, right? In the last 2-3 years, a lot of the telecom players, internet broadband players are all giving us now much better bandwidth to be able to deal with that load. And it's not just from cities like Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi. This internet user is coming from smaller cities. They're even coming from villages. In states like Tamil Nadu, we see a lot of people come from not just Chennai, but Coimbatore, Madurai, Salem, Trichy, but also from villages a few kilometers outside these big cities. That's how important internet has become for people. So at this point of time, outbound traffic, 60% is coming from outside the big 6 metros, from these small cities and villages. And what are they coming and doing on YouTube? So you said that you'd watched YouTube this morning. What did you watch? News, some music, some movies, right? So all of you are what I will call the first 100 million consumers of YouTube, because you have been on YouTube for some time, right? Today I told you there are 265 million. The first 100 million primarily came there for entertainment, which is music, movies, TV shows, and things like that. The next 100 million people came there for not just entertainment, but also information. So you talked about news. Some people want to know about food, how to cook a certain dish. Some people want to know about general knowledge, right? Things like that. This current 100 million people, which will take us to 300, has come not just for entertainment and information, but also for education. And you all know, we Indians love getting educated. I remember my tata, when he was staying here in Chennai, outside his house, he had put his name, and he had some 7 degrees after that, right? So we all love education that much, right? Not just South Indians, but all Indians. So a lot of us are coming to the platform to get educated. Some want to get educated about what is happening in their schools. Some want to get educated about engineering, physics. Some also want to get educated about writing an entrance examination, UPSC examination, all of those things. So today's consumer is consuming entertainment, information, and education on YouTube. And all of this is possible not just because of big traditional media companies, but also because of people like you and me, right? Whether you're an entertainer or a comedian or a musician or an educator, these are all people who are just like you and me. They discovered this platform and they were able to reach hundreds and hundreds of millions of people. And now a lot of them are actually making a career and a business out of it. 4 or 5 years ago when I came to Chennai, there was not a single full-time YouTuber at that point of time. But today, a lot of people actually make their careers on YouTube. And you will meet some of them today and thereafter, right? So these are the people who are actually creating the content for all those people across entertainment, information, education. And a lot of these people, as I said, they have found great success while doing it. About 4 or 5 years ago, there were a handful of channels with more than 1 million subscribers. But today, there are more than 1,200 channels with more than 1 million subscribers. And about 120 of these channels are actually women creators. So it's also helped women creators also, become independent, to find their own voice and create content and put it out there. All of that is pointing us to one conclusion, which is it's a great time to be a creator. Right? Create your own content where it's you and your consumer. Right? No one in between to tell you what to do. No one to say do it this way, but do it according to your style in that sense. So what's the scene in Tamil Nadu? Okay, last year there were 30 channels with more than 1 million subscribers. In just a matter of 1 year, that number has more than tripled. Now there are 94 channels with more than 1 million subscribers. These are all people who we call our superstars. They are our real Tamil superstars. First comes Rajni, then come YouTube Tamil superstars, right? But even more interesting is the people who have crossed 1 lakh subscribers. They are all going to reach 1 million subscribers in some time. And look at that number. Last year, there were 630 channels with more than 1 lakh subscribers. Now, that number has doubled. 1250 channels and more with 1 lakh subscribers. All of these 1250 will eventually cross 1 million. And why are subscribers important? Because these are people, when they press the subscribe button, it means they like your content. They love your content. They identify with you, right? See, when we watch something sitting at home in television, there is no way to connect with that content. But on platforms like YouTube, people subscribe, people like, people comment, because they really love that content and that creator. As YouTube, we do a lot of things for creators, right? We start with making sure that we build a great platform which can help anyone put up content, whichever corner of India they come from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. We make a great platform that's accessible to everyone, right? We also help creators then use that platform better. So there's a lot of content on YouTube that tells people how to learn, how to do things on YouTube better. And there are some creators that we also then interact one-on-one with on a regular basis, right? And there are some other very interesting programs that we have now done over the last 2 or 3 years, which is actually why we are here today. What I'll do is I'll play one small video about what we did with some creators in the city of Delhi about 2-3 months ago. That will kind of tell you what we are planning or what we are doing right now in Chennai. So can we play this video?
session किए थे अभी where I asked them questions, they asked me questions, and बहुत potential है यार. मतलब मैंने उनसे इतने सारे सवाल किए कि क्या problems है तुम्हारे, क्या challenges है.
The best part about YouTube is the diversity, so you can just take a mobile phone and just start shooting. But what happens once you've done that and you want to move to the next level? I think this is the place to come where people that you've been following on YouTube, people that you are an admirer of, people that you're a fan of, you actually could come here. You only follow them and maybe want to do things like them, but here to get to meet up with them. I met a lot of people here who were all asking me about a lot of things that they were doing on their channel, and I think it's very interesting that YouTube does something like this, and also I think the theme is fantastic.
So I love how YouTube was kind enough to kind of serve everything on a platter for us. So it was an incredible experience. It was very easy. I loved the set. The whole vibe was extremely modern yet very, very fun. I think these kind of pop-ups should happen even more because I think YouTube's come up with a very fantastic idea.
It gives me a lot of pride to present YouTube pop-up and Next Up happening in Chennai for the first time in my home state, and that's why we are here today. So what exactly is pop-up and what exactly is Next Up? I want to explain that a bit to you, right? The first and most important thing is what we call education. So, if you can all create YouTube videos, you can watch YouTube videos which tell you how to create better YouTube videos, but that can be a very lonely way of being a part of this community. But what we saw is how YouTubers in a city were all connected with each other and they were all learning from each other. So literally, at some point of time or the other, somebody from the YouTube team is connecting with these YouTube creators and telling them how to do things better. But we really celebrate it by doing what we call a YouTube pop-up, where there's education not just about basics, not just about intermediate, but also about some advanced topics like how to do better production, how to have grow audiences, how to think about using social media, how to use our own platform to grow these audiences, right? So what we do is literally, right? On a daily basis, there are a lot of education workshops that are happening in this hotel. It's been happening for the last couple of days and more to follow in the next couple of days as well, where creators are learning from not just us, but also other creators. So we call other creators to talk to them, tell them about their journey, tips and tricks, production, advanced production and things like that. Collaboration. So you'll often see, two YouTubers come together and make a video where one video goes on one person's channel and the other video goes on the other person's channel. Now when you do that, you are actually taking audiences from this creator and audiences from this creator and exposing them to each other. And by doing that, you grow. So we're also doing a lot of collaborations where we've actually created a food set and we are getting chefs who speak in Hindi to work with chefs who speak only in Tamil. Right? So Bharat's Kitchen is working with Amma Samayal and they are creating a video together. Right? And there's a lot of fun that they're having in that process. So a lot of collaboration and obviously creation. So what we have done is we've put up 3 fantastic sets, and I'll show you some pictures after that, where we are calling all our partners to come and create. What that gives them is basically exposes them to better and more different things. And that creates that desire then for them to do better after the pop-up is over also, right? So I was talking to you about these pop-up sets. So we have one music set where it's amazing. We've had big music labels come and shoot. We've had independent creators, musicians come and shoot. We've also had Carnatic musicians come and create music there. Because Tamil Nadu is the home of Carnatic music. So we also have a lot of Carnatic musicians come there and create content in the music set. This is the live kitchen set. So a lot of food creators are coming out there, and the collaboration I told you, that is all happening out there. And then we have a lifestyle set, where again, a whole lot of creators are creating content. Now, see, a set is nothing but, some good-looking space, just a good-looking space. But when the creators come there and they shoot their video, it comes alive. And that's what happens in a pop-up. We enable them with good equipment, good sets, but they then come out there and create amazing content, right? And that inspires them and others even more. So I talked to you about workshops, right? So there are workshops happening in food, there are workshops happening in technology, because now YouTube is not just, as I said, entertainment, it's also information, it's also education. So we're having workshops across 5 different verticals that helps these people understand how to do better in that vertical. This is amazing. More than 500 people have come for these workshops, but half of them have come from outside Chennai city. People have come from Coimbatore, people have come from Madurai. Why? Because it's a great opportunity for them to connect with creators from Chennai, and there are also, I believe, some creators from Hyderabad and Bangalore also, right? So that's the other amazing thing that happens at a pop-up. There is a lot of intermingling of creators from cities, smaller cities, even villages. I talked to you about something called Next Up. Next Up is a contest that we run where we invite entries from people who want to be a part of Next Up, and we get hundreds of and thousands of entries, out of which we select 12. The Next Up that we're doing in Chennai is in gaming. Now gaming, we all have played video games, but there are some serious gamers who are making their careers doing gaming. And a lot of them put their content on YouTube for other people to see. So we're doing a Next Up which is focused on gaming. There are 12 creators, and we have creators from Tamil Nadu also who are a part of it. And they play different kinds of games, not just one game. And they represent people, they represent 6 different languages from different parts of India. So that's Next Up also, which is happening at this point in time. So here's just some things that have been shot from the last couple of days. There is Rajesh Vaidya, who's the music set. We also have food creators collaborating in the food set. There's obviously some workshops in progress. There's a production workshop, where we are telling them how to use light better. Some things which have already happened in the last couple of days. Which also then brings me to why Tamil Nadu is so exciting. Why Tamil content is so exciting at this point of time. So Tamil content really took off in 2015, and after that it hasn't looked back. It's now among the top languages in India in terms of growth. 2019 was very interesting for Tamil content. So we've just put on some things which we thought might be interesting. So, a lot of big TV stations like Sun and other stations like that, they put their content on YouTube literally after the show goes on air. Why? Because YouTube is a great platform for traditional broadcasters so that they can catch up on their content. Some people miss the show, they get stuck in the traffic in Mount Road, but you can always go home and watch it on YouTube. So we've had that vertical grow in leaps and bounds. And it's not just people in India, even Tamilians who are staying abroad, they like to catch up on their latest show. They might not be getting that in their houses. So YouTube works very well for these partners. One of the biggest songs that came from Tamil Nadu this year was Rowdy Baby. Anybody here who's not heard the song? Not possible. Because that's got more than 700 million views at this point of time. It's approaching 1 billion, and it will get there very fast. But more interestingly, it's also inspired other people to cover the song. They have danced to that song. They have made spoofs around it. So that's the beauty of YouTube. You have one piece of content which inspires other people to create and reinterpret that content in their own way, right? So that's the other interesting thing that's happened in Chennai. I talked about Tamil creators. So we now have a lot of Tamil gaming creators. We have a lot of gaming creators who create gaming content in Tamil. I talked about Carnatic music and how it is booming and growing. So we've had, off late, people like Sikil Gurucharan, PMK, all of them come to YouTube to actually put up content that people have never seen before and create fresh content. And we are getting into Margari season, so a lot of other sabhas are also coming and putting their content on YouTube, which is a great way for the Tamil Carnatic lover to consume that content. Two other things I think are very interesting. One is what I call village cooking. Have you all seen a village cooking video? If you haven't, I'm going to show you my personal favorite village cooking video after this slide. But the typical village cooking will have a tata or a party who will be sitting out there and making some dishes that they used to make when they were children, right? But now they have gone even more further. They are now doing miniature village food cooking. So they are cooking using very, very small utensils, very interesting things that they are doing. And I sometimes think that the production quality of what they are doing in the villages of Tamil Nadu is actually even better than the production quality of someone doing it anywhere in the big cities of the world. And I'll show you one such example. So that's something that is just mind-blowing, right? Last but not the least, YouTube creators are building their careers on the platform and they're getting appreciated. But they're also going mainstream, There are a lot of examples of YouTube creators who are acting in movies, who are creating movies. So one of our very close partners, which was a channel called Black Sheep, so RJ Vignesh Kant, he is actually releasing a movie in June, where other YouTube creators are also part of their entire experience. We've had creators like Vijay and Harija from ErumaSaani, who are actually they're getting roles in mainstream cinema. So we are seeing that because YouTube creators talk directly to consumers. And a lot of consumers are, young consumers speaking different languages. So traditional media people understand that, this is a good way to then connect to those audiences. So all of these things have happened in Tamil Nadu this year. And next year promises to be even more exciting. We thought we will also show you, sorry, I should play these slides. I talked about how some of these shows are going on television on a daily basis. I talked about how this song is Rowdy Baby is inspiring other covers and parodies. I talked about Carnatic musicians like TMK, Sikil Gurucharan, and a lot of other people, and also some of the sabhas and curators who are doing really well. And yes, there are a lot of gamers here. They just walked into the room while I was talking. Some of them are from Tamil Nadu. So there are channels like Free Fire, PUBG Mobile, and they're all playing games like Free Fire, PUBG Mobile, doing really well and creating content in Tamil. I talked to you about miniature cooking. So you can see they're creating content using like very, very small utensils and all of that. Please see these videos after you go home. I'll play you my favorite video. I want you to pay attention to two things, right? I want you to pay attention to the camera angles, right? And I want you to pay attention to the sound. So just think how evolved this particular creator is. This is a channel called, you'll see the name of the channel. You'll just watch this. Can you play this video? Channels this year. Sorry, let me go back. So 2020, what does 2020 look like for us, right? So we're already seeing a lot of these trends that I talked about will continue, but we are seeing three emerging trends that we think are going to make their impact in 2020. First is, now women creators. So I earlier told you about how there are 1,200 channels with more than 1 million subscribers, of which about 120 are women creators from across India. So we are actually seeing early signs of amazing growth from women creators like Kori Urundai and a bunch of other channels, which we think will become even bigger in 2020. We have learning. So I talked about how this current 300 million consumers have come to the platform to learn. So we are seeing amazing creators from Tamil Nadu who are creating content in Tamil in learning across different verticals, right? So Let's Make Engineering Simple is one channel who's here. You can meet them and learn a bit more about them. And music artists, right? So we're also seeing a lot of independent music artists who are doing really well right now, and we think they will emerge and do even better next year. Cover artists like Joshua Aaron, MD Music, who are doing really well. So we think these three trends are something that we are going to focus on, and we will see them emerge really well and make this Tamil ecosystem even bigger and better in 2020. I'm not going to take more time. We have 4 creators also, and I'm going to call them up on stage. Can I call up on stage Prem from Let's Make Engineering Simple? Is Hema from HomeCooking Tamil here? No, so she's I think on her way. Rajeshwar from Nakkalites, come up on stage. And Mr. Sridhar from Simca, and he wants to come up on stage. So they are here. We want you to definitely, speak to them. We're going to do one-on-ones who can talk to you about, all the good things that are happening in the Tamil space. We can do a quick photo op.
You can stand in the middle. You can come in the middle.
Okay, I'll come in the middle. Can I come in the back? कुछ fun करो बोल रहे हो ऐसे हाथ ऊपर करो Okay, 3 cheers for next up gaming. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Mike, yeah. So I was telling you about how we do a lot of workshops during FAF where we are focusing on verticals. So we actually have some comedy creators who are learning about how to do more in comedy in Tamil on YouTube. So we thought it's interesting to get all of them on stage, if the stage can take all of them.
Photographer.
Okay.
Photographer.
So we'll do a quick photo with all the comedy creators who have come to the workshop. So. Yeah. Yeah, can I request all the women creators to be standing in front and thank you very much. Thank you all. I hope the workshop will be good. Enjoy yourselves.